I'm James Wedmore, and with 17 years online, I've built my business to over $12 million in sales per year. And this is the first non-business business podcast that shows you how to apply the principles of spirituality, energy, and mindset to grow your business beyond your wildest dreams, all from the inside out. This is the Mind Your Business podcast.
Welcome back to the Mind Your Business podcast. I'm here with Hannah for the Wednesday Weekly Win, and we are doing our interview at the Next Level event. Hannah, why don't you say hello to everyone and then tell us what you do and how you help.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here. My name's Hannah Aylward, and I am the CEO and founder of Han. And at Han, we help women overcome chronic digestive issues by taking a functional root cause approach to repairing the gut.
Yes, I love this. This is right up my alley because I have many food allergies.
Oh my gosh, we need to talk.
Yes, I know. We'll take that offline after we're done with the interview. But why don't we start with where you were when you came into Business by Design, and then and you were helping people with gut health. Were you doing it one-on-one before you went one-to-many?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, before BBD, I was really just getting started. So I didn't know anything about the online space. I mean, I didn't know anything about online marketing, digital marketing. I didn't know what a lead magnet was. I mean, all of this was new
I relate.
to me.
What's a landing page?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just knew gut health, you know, and I think what so many people don't realize is in order to run a business, you have to understand business. You can't just be a good health practitioner.
Good coach. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was super unfamiliar with all of it, and I had some one-on-one coaching clients, and I was working and starting to build out my course. And I think I had maybe launched it once. I can't even remember, but I think the first time I launched it, I got 2 people that signed up, and then the second time I launched it, I got 2 people that signed up, and then from there, things kind of started rolling more.
Yeah. So, and you ran the beta with just 2?
I ran the beta, with just 2. I'm trying to remember. It was 2 and then 2 again, I think, and then 4. And I just gave it.
You just kept doing it.
I just kept doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many do you know how many launches you're at now?
Yes. Yeah. We just had our 18th launch of my signature Healing Guts and Shaking Butts program.
And where are you at now in revenue?
Last year we did about $500,000.
Wow. So 18 launches. What's your launch? What launch mechanism are you using? Are you doing webinars?
Yeah, we do webinars. Yeah.
Cool. And what's the price point of the product?
So when you sign up early, we do an early bird, that's $19.99, and then full price is $2,222.
Cool.
Yeah.
So then is the early bird based off of a time, you've done the webinar, you have this amount of time to get the early bird and then the price goes up?
Yes, yeah. We also sell to the wait list before. So anyone that signs up early from the wait list gets early bird pricing plus bonuses, different additional bonuses than you get from just the webinar. And then on the webinar, early bird pricing is for 48 hours. Yeah. And then after that, price goes up.
So walk me through specifically what you've learned that has allowed you to have that hockey stick effect in a short amount of time, over 18 launches.
Oh my gosh. I think the biggest tip that I give everyone, and I think the biggest piece to my success, is I just kept doing it. Yeah. And I know that sounds very boring, but I think it's so easy. I think back to when I was first getting started, and it's so easy to be okay, well, there's this thing I can do, and then there's this thing, and then there's this 3-part video series, and then I can do this, and do I need a new lead magnet? And it's so overwhelming. And then you talk to people, and everyone's kind of doing it differently too, similarly, but also differently. There's so many different mechanisms. And I just remember being I'm gonna grow this to $1 million, and watch me. I'm gonna do it until I get there. And I was very determined, and I used to listen to the Mind Your Business. I mean, I still listen to podcasts, but I would listen to the Mind Your Business podcast on my walks. And I saw James grow BBD. I saw a couple other big people in this space grow their signature offers. And I was I'm gonna do that too. And I think it's also so helpful because when you first start, it's so overwhelming, and every time you have to launch something new, it comes with everything new, potentially a new lead magnet, landing pages, emails, all of this stuff, and that's honestly not my expertise, right? I'm good at messaging, I'm good at speaking to the client, I'm good at my job, the delivery. The delivery of the service. So I was absolutely not interested in like rebuilding all of this
every
stuff
time,
because that can take a long time. And
Right.
then the other thing is like when I first got started, you know, I think it takes a second to get your messaging. And like,
yes,
it's so helpful to have tools like $1 Million Messaging and all of that. But you know, I was brand new. I mean, I'm like fish out of water getting started. So it took me like 4 launches to even understand what I was saying. You know,
What's something
is
you
it?
used to say in an old launch that you would be like, I would never talk about my product like that?
Oh my gosh, it's so like funny to think about. I remember when I first was getting started, because gut health, for anyone that knows anything about it, you know, the gut is like the epicenter of your health.
Yes.
So you can have underlying gut issues causing
Anything.
acne,
Yes.
right, eczema, psoriasis, anxiety,
Yeah.
depression,
Yeah.
histamine overload, which can look like heart palpitations and migraines and allergies, right? And then there's digestive issues, and then there's thyroid, you know?
Yeah.
So when I was first getting started, like that's why I love working with the gut. It's an absolute non-negotiable for anyone that wants to take like a root cause approach to their health.
Yes.
But I was like working in this co-working space and first getting started, and I was just like, gut health is everything. It's so cool, and I love the science of all of it. And there were like these 3 dudes that worked at this space with me that worked in marketing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, maybe they know something. And they were just like, they kept saying to me, you can't just say like gut health is like gonna help everything. Like just get healthier by like addressing your gut health. Like it was
Yes.
way too broad. You know, they
Okay.
were like niche down, niche down, niche down. And I was just like so resistant to that because I'm like, you guys don't understand the power of this. You know, my like,
It can literally help anyone.
I'm like,
do anything.
This is gonna change
Yes.
everyone's life. And they were just like, that's cool, but like that doesn't really
But it won't
matter.
sell.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like something can be true.
Yes.
But also not sell.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as soon as I like started niching down, and we specialize in chronic digestive issues, but
Okay.
now we've since launched a skin program. I have a
Yeah.
practitioner on my team that specializes in the gut-skin connection. And you know, we'll see people with other things, sluggish thyroid function and whatever, acne, right? But we specialize in the digestive issues. And once I started really like speaking to that and niching
Yes.
down, which I like so many people are so resistant to, it helped. I mean, it like helped like immediately.
Yeah, because you get people who are more, if you think about it, especially in like the health space, if you're addressing like anyone with a health problem needs gut health support, it's not particularly urgent for the, you know, so if you're saying like, oh, well let's say you have like an autoimmune, like Hashimoto's or something, then you're probably, your first defense might not be gut health, it might be like blood paneling and a specialist or something like that, thyroid medication.
Yeah.
But if you say like, I'm specializing in digestive issues, that's so directly correlated to the gut that you probably get people in the funnel that are more ready to buy too, because you're approaching it from that angle.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like now, I think also, I mean, earlier on in my career, so I've been doing this since like 2019. So it's not forever, but people know gut health is way more recognized now, even than it was 6 years ago. So,
yeah, it is.
You know, I remember someone asking me like, at what place of education are your clients? Like, do they even know they have a gut issue, or do they just know that they're bloated?
Yeah, okay.
And that also like changed my business, because I was like, you know what? I don't think they actually know that it's a gut health issue. They know that they're constipated and they're bloated and whatever. But now the consumer is more kind of like up to speed on that, right? Like a lot of people know my gut health impacts everything, and maybe it does contribute to Hashimoto's and stuff. But I had to really like meet the customer where the customer was at. And then I think when you like, you know, my goal for the company was really to be the go-to for people with chronic digestive issues, you know.
Yeah.
And now it's like we get referrals from other people, we get referrals from doctors, we get referrals all over the place.
Yeah.
As the people, that can like solve the chronic digestive issues.
That points to what James calls the curse of coaching, which is like coaches naturally always want to talk about in the messaging what's the root cause, which is really helpful when you're coaching someone. You have to, of course, get to what's the root of this issue. But in the marketing, you address the symptoms of the root issue. And then, so the symptom is you're bloated, constipated, low energy, like bad skin, whatever it is. And then you bring them through the messaging or the funnel, they come to the realization, oh my gosh, this is gut health, which creates a new problem. And then it's, how do I solve my gut health problem? And that's where your program enters in.
Yeah.
So how did you scale it? Was your first offer just you? I know you have coaches now. Was your first offer just you, and then you expanded to adding more people to deliver?
Yep. Yeah. So at first it was like really more of a course with coaching. It was
From you?
From me, only me. And it was like that probably 2019 and then 2020 as well. And then it could have been end of 2020 or beginning of 2021. I brought in my first practitioner who I wanted, because I wanted to run testing as well.
Cool.
And that comes with one-on-ones, and I knew I couldn't do all that. Like if I wanted to grow the business, it was always very clear to me, if I want to really grow the business, I can't do all this.
Yes.
You know? So I hired my first person who actually bought my course to learn from me. It was a registered dietitian, bought the course to learn from me. I was like, why did you sign up for my course? Like, she has more credentials than I do, right? And she was like, you really know what you're talking about. And then I was like, do you want to work for me? So I was like,
awesome.
Come on, like I'll teach you this, we'll learn this, and then we'll help people. And then that grew, and then I hired my second person who's still with me.
Yeah.
And then it grew. In 2022, we just like tripled.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what changed in 2022? If you can.
Just more exposure. I went viral, and my following like honestly quadrupled. And then but I had everything set up. And you know, one of my best friends like reflects this to me, which is so sweet, but because you know, you can go viral and that can cause no sales. Like,
exactly.
That can cause no. But she was like, you've been busting your butt to like set all of this up. Like I had like the lead magnet, I had the wait list, I had the funnels, I had all of the education, all of the posts teaching about this and gaining authority and all of that, and the trainings. I have like so many trainings and I'd go live on Instagram and train, you know. So I had it set up where people were like, they could enter the funnel basically and then kind of get in quickly. And then like literally that round of my program sold out in 48 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you look back on that, do you feel like there was something formulaic about like what had you go viral? Or was it kind of like a trifecta of like the right keyword at the right moment in time? Like what caused it, do you think?
That's a good question. I'm very into the energetics and like the manifestation element of all of this. So I think that part of the success has been, can be attributed to that, like where I'm at, the work that I've done on like myself and my capacity and my self-worth and all of that. When I look at like the reel that went viral, it's so silly. I mean, it's truly so silly.
What was the reel?
It was, well, this was also when reels were newer. So there was less competition, right? Things were getting pushed out more. And it was
because this is 2022.
This was end of 2021. I went viral and just like exploded.
On TikTok or Instagram?
Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was like signs that your gut is messed up or whatever. And then it was just like 4 things, and it was like a trending song. I mean, it was like the simplest.
Yeah,
like,
but it's simple.
It was so simple.
Yeah, and then you've got 4 symptoms in there.
Yeah.
Signs that you have a gut health issue.
And then people were like, oh my gosh, like this is me. And then it's like you come to my page, and I have a lot more advanced, like education and training and thought reversal and all of that. So I mean, it's so silly, and sometimes like I forget this, but that reel sat in my drafts for like weeks. Like I had made it, and then like stuff was happening in my life, whatever. I was like moving, and my personal life was so chaotic, and I had all my clothes in like bags. And then this reel popped, and I was like, little do all these people know, I'm like selling out, and I like don't even have a place to live. Like my life was
gosh,
like,
but you got great gut.
But I can teach you how to repair your gut.
I can teach you how to repair your gut.
Yes.
I know you went viral recently on TikTok too, right? Yeah. So what was the total number of views? I know it's still accruing, but what did the Instagram one hit?
Oh, like 5.4 million.
5 million.
Yeah, I mean, like crazy. And then last year I went viral like so many times. I feel like I'm good at the content game, but honestly, like I don't know. Is there a method to this? Like I think so, but it is hit or miss. Like some things will do really well, and some things will totally flop, and you think they'll do well. And
I know. And then you spend 10 hours on one reel, and then that one's the one that gets 5,000 views, and then the one that you were like sitting in your drafts for like 2 years, you're like, whatever, I need something to post today. That one is the one.
100%. And I think it was also like, I really believe, and this is just my personal take, but I really believe once you step through these things that you're very afraid of, like
Yes.
wherever you're holding yourself back due to fear, doubt, whatever, as soon as you, on the other side of fear is just opportunity and potential. So I try to remind myself of that. So I had just done something in my like personal life that felt very scary, and then boop, this reel takes off. And that happens over and over again. Like I feel like I can read the energetics of like manifestation pretty well at this point. I'm like, where am I capping myself? What am I procrastinating on? What have I been saying I need to do that I haven't done? Little things like that. It's like at the end of the day, where am I stopping myself? where am I out of my own integrity? Like, oh,
not just in your business, but like in your life.
And in business, right?
Yeah.
So if there's like I've been avoiding the finances or whatever, right? Because it's like overwhelming or whatever. Like if I step through that, I swear, like in an hour, there'll be like a sale. And I'm like, oh, like the universe is just like, please stop avoiding this. Like, just do it.
Here's your reward. Here's a cookie, Hannah.
Yes.
You did it.
Yes. So I think there's a lot, like there's so much power to, and when you're first getting started, I mean, there's so much fear. Around everything, because you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? Like, I'm putting myself out there. You know, it can be so overwhelming, and the fear doesn't really like go anywhere. It kind of just like is at a different level, and decisions get like bigger. But my tip for everyone is like, just if you can walk through the fear, on the other side of the fear is like something.
Just
much
take
better.
the action.
Just take the action
inside of the fear.
Yes.
The fear. Don't wait for the fear to go away. Just
because it won't.
Act.
Yes.
And that's okay. Just do it scared.
Yes.
So you're what James calls a BBD purist, I think. Like you've only done, like you didn't come having prior business course knowledge. So talk to me about the way that you approached once you were inside BBD, because I think you're someone who like you're starting from, I don't know what a funnel is basically, and in a short amount of time you've created a tremendous amount of success and haven't gone through like the what shall I call it, like the overwhelm bunny freeze. You know what I mean? It's like fight, flight, or just freeze, where you're just like, there's a lot to get done and I don't know any of it, and so I'm just going to hold still for a minute. Like you had action. So talk to me about how you used the program or navigated it.
I had learned how to build my course through someone else previously.
Okay.
And that was very helpful. And that's when I
like the content, how to design the content. Okay,
like
cool.
building the course, and then like marketing it. Yes. And then there was just something, what I always enjoyed about James's approach was he was obviously very like well versed in this space, but and very good at strategy, but he also talks about the mindset piece. He talks about the energetic piece, and there's not a lot of people that can do, I think, both like very well. Like he's like just as good as the energetic piece as he is the strategy. A lot of coaches, especially now, which I could get on my soapbox, but a lot of like business coaches now are like energetics, and I'm like, you got to get moving though. Like we have to have strategy, and we have to take action.
Yeah, there has to be some, like, yes, the energetics are very important, but it's like saying I'm only going to wear socks and not put my shoes on. Like we have to have both. The shoes are better with socks, and the socks work for the shoes.
Yes. Yeah. And then the strategy, like, but you know, it does. It's all better together.
Yeah.
So I really, I just really enjoyed that about him, and like I think he's a really incredible coach. Like he has the ability to see, you'll say something and then you don't even know, and then something else is coming back to you that like you needed more than what you asked, you know.
He is good at that. I'm a little biased, but I do think he is an incredible coach, and he does have the ability to, I watch him coach people all the time where they're like, if I just move this one thing, you know, like it could, and it might be, it's this fear that I have this fear coming up, and he's like, okay, wait, let's go look at the funnel, or like, what did you do? And he'll bring it back to like the practical action or whatever it is that's breaking in the process of attracting the lead and then making the sale. Yeah.
So I think it's, and you know, coming back to like your original question, I just take action. I think that's honestly like how I've gotten here. There's
a trend.
There's
emerging.
no secret. there's truly no secret. I think my biggest strengths and what has led me here, and I share this with everyone that asks, I'm like, listen, keep one product, sell the same thing, because then you get really good at it. You know the messaging, you know the results, you know the process. That takes a second. You know, be gentle with yourself. Like I remember going through the messaging module in BBD and being like, oh, this is so helpful, but took me a second to like actually really be able to then get on stories and talk about it with confidence, you know, like that takes a second. But I just really did it. Like I will feel the fear and I will do it anyway. And you know, my dad like reflects to me. I was like doing this journaling exercise and he's like, you know, your biggest strength is that you do what you say you're gonna do, you know? So it's like, I don't think, to avoid the overwhelm or the freeze, right? It's like, I just move forward and I'm like, better done than perfect.
Yes.
Better done than perfect.
So
and then
good.
tweak and optimize.
Yeah. And that's I think like exactly what you said is the reason why he always corrects our team if they refer to it as a course, BBD that is, because he's like, courses are there to teach people information. I am a practical application instruction manual. This is not, you don't buy IKEA furniture and then leave it in the box. You have all the pieces and the parts and there's an instruction manual and then you build it. It's not like, oh no, the point was just to buy the box. It's just, it's over there in the box. So the point of BBD is not to acquire all this knowledge about digital business. It's to have an action plan so that you go in and you get a methodology and you have like swipe, deploy processes. It's like you're doing a webinar, you're gonna send this amount of emails on this day of this day of the week, open cart, close cart, and it's all in there and already been tinkered with by James.
Which is so helpful because once again, when you're just getting started, I mean, I'm like emails, I'm like, when do I send these emails?
Yes.
What do these emails say? I mean, I feel like still I don't have the emails down. Like, that's the thing too. I mean, there's so much that I have never done, never even tried. But I just kept doing, like I've only sold really with the webinar or masterclass is you know, what I call it. Like I've never done a 3-part video thing. There's so much I haven't done.
But see, that's so good for people who are, like for people listening who are in BBD, take a page out of Hannah's book because it's, you don't have to apply 8 strategies from the program in order to see a business that's doing a $500,000 a year. You know what I mean? It's like you go get one of them that works, pick your horse in the race, and then just bet on that horse. Don't be trying to launch 8 things at once. And I think one of the things you've done really well is like follow the process the way it's designed and just repeat it over and over. And every time you repeat it, you refine it a little bit. Yeah.
Totally. So even like on the plane here, I was like journaling about like, okay, so what, because I'm about to go into a launch, we're kind of in pre-launch now, and I'm like, what are like the 3 things we're gonna tweak?
Yes.
You know? So I'm very much, I don't know, my brain, I'm a Capricorn.
Yes,
So,
oh, we love it. I'm a Capricorn moon sign or rising sign. I think I have a Capricorn rising, but yes, I relate to the Capricorn energy. We are the mountain goat. We will climb the mountain.
Yes. I have like a Capricorn stellium, so I have 6 planets in Capricorn.
Oh my
so
gosh.
The energy
yes.
is a lot. And then I'm a Virgo moon, so the earth
We love
energy
the Virgo, yes.
And the like practical is like really like, I'm like, okay, this feels overwhelming. There's too much here. Oh my gosh, I can't do it. And then I'm like 3 things. I'm like, what are the 3 things I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tweak these things. And then I'll revise and I'll revisit this, you know. But it's so easy to just let it overwhelm you. And I always hear James like in my head saying, "Overwhelm is a choice."
Yeah.
You know? Like I'm like, overwhelm is a choice. Like, and I still totally get overwhelmed. Like I'm not trying to play it cool. I'm very overwhelmed a lot. But then I'm like, I try to just what are the 3 simple actions and things that I can take here to move the needle, you know?
Yes. I don't know if you saw. That's funny. So James has been saying overwhelm is a choice for like years. And we used to say that to each other as a team, but my team now are big Swifties. And I don't know if you saw the viral video of Taylor Swift saying to Travis Kelce, jet lag as a choice, where they read her lips and he's like, are you jet lagged? And she says jet lag as a choice. So now our team, instead of saying overwhelm is a choice, we all look at each other, we're like, jet lag is a choice.
Oh my God.
But we know that it means overwhelm. Yeah.
I love it.
So good.
I love it.
We forced James onto the Swiftie bandwagon because my whole growth team is Swifties.
I like really became a Swiftie like this last year.
I mean, respect. How could you not? You know, I mean, yeah.
The Eras tour was really like,
yes,
wow,
I'm
this is
so glad.
phenomenal.
We're like, welcome to the party. All of the new Swifties, join.
I love it. Yeah.
So good. Okay, tell me something that you're doing at this $500,000 mark that you feel like is different, like talking about the energetics, like how are you showing up differently as a CEO at this level that you feel like you were not doing at when you started? And then what's something that hasn't changed? That's like, oh, actually, I'm at this place because I was already doing that.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Being the CEO is very much a work in progress, I will say. Like, this is probably, if anything's bottlenecking the business, it's me, you know? So
Right.
there's still, like, even though we hit this big milestone, and I was like, that's so amazing. Part of me was like, I could have hit this way sooner, you know? Like, I really, this stuff has been working. And last year when I presented, James was like, this is working, like, just go now. But if there's fear, you know, so all of that is still present. It's just like working with it, moving through it when you become aware of it. But so I don't want to act like I'm like running this and everything's just buttoned up and it's great. Yeah. Like, absolutely not. But things that have, like, how I'm showing up, I think there's way less fear. I'm way more confident. My self-worth is like significantly higher. And I just really feel like regardless of what happens, like, we're gonna figure it out, you know, and I'll figure it out. And that's that. And when I first got started, I had a bit of that, but I do think, you know, it's easier when you start to see results and then you're like, wait. And
that was gonna be my question, is like, do you feel like there was a moment in time where you just went, I think I'll be worthy now? Or was it more like as you took the action and then you got the results back, you started to say like, wait a minute, this is working. I know what I'm talking about. And then that self-worth over time accrued.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I did a lot of personal work that I continue to do. And then I think I remember it was 2020, I think. And I actually came out to Sedona right after. And that's when I sold like 30 spots of my program. Yeah. Which to me was like insane. I think I made $14,000. And because my program was way less expensive then, and it was a little different, and I was just like, this is working. Yeah. Like, once I saw that, I was like, this is gonna work. So I do think that, you know, as you start to grow and you get to see some of these results, like in your nervous system, you can like, you know, it's like integrate. But I also think, I mean, you just have to keep going. It wasn't one day. It was like day after day after day after day, and I think you build a lot of self-worth and confidence when you like do what you say you're gonna do, and then you like show up even though it's so hard and you want to give up and you want to quit and you're terrified and like you're getting on live and you're just like, I don't even know what I'm saying. Like, I think that I've done that so much that at this point I'm like, record, you know, like, it's like at this point it's way less scary than it was, as is everything. Like the last time I taught my master class, you know, I was like, I'm not nervous at all. Yes. Yeah.
And I want people to hear that, because I feel like some of the entrepreneurs out there are waiting for this moment when it doesn't feel scary, or it doesn't feel bigger than they are, or the imposter syndrome poof disappears, or it doesn't feel like you're taking a step out off a ledge into the unknown. And you probably still have days that feel like that, because the goalpost moves as you grow the business. And now you're looking like, okay, now we're at 500,000 a year. When are we going to do our $1 million year? You know, and then that's a whole nother level of still being present with the fear, still being present with whatever else comes with that. But you've built it over time, versus it being just this one moment where you go, I think I'm done with my self-doubt, you know?
No, definitely not. Like, consistent therapy.
Yes.
Therapy helps a lot of this. Like, I do like a lot of this inner manifestation work. And I think it's built over time. I do. I feel very different in myself, in my body, and as a leader and in this space and everything now than I did when I first got started. And I had grit then, and honestly I had more energy then. Like, I had more just like naivete and like, let's just go and do this thing. When I was, it was a couple years ago, so I was like mid-20s. And now I think there's more, just like centeredness, but that's been built after years of discomfort, you know, and years of like one action and then the next action and the next action. And I totally get scared, you know, with things. But
that's what I'm hearing out of the, like, what were you doing that you were already acting like the CEO that you are now, then is like taking the action consistently regardless of what was going on internally. Yeah. Oh, I just got chills when I said that.
Yeah, totally. That I will give myself. I've always taken the action. I just like I was harder on myself before. I doubted myself a bit more. Like, the energy behind it is different, but I was still taking the action. Yes. Yeah. So I will give myself, I mean, I'm like just full speed ahead.
Yeah. And that, you know, it's like trying to move a big, heavy tire. Like if you've ever pushed tires, like in a way, it's like a lot of energy at first. And then there's a reason a wheel is round, because then it starts to move itself after a while. But that initial effort takes a lot of courage and strength, and then it starts moving.
Yes, and I think that's how I don't want to jinx it. I don't really believe in jinxing things, but now it feels like, okay, whatever happens, like we can,
we're in motion.
We're in motion. And my dad always said to me, because both my parents were entrepreneurs, so I will also say that it was very much like, this is kind of how it goes, you know? And my dad said to me, you're just trying to hit momentum, Hannah. You're just trying to hit momentum. And I would call him crying. I'm trying to set up a sales page. I have no idea. Like, I'm like, this is all new to me. I don't know how to work this software. Like, I feel smart and I feel so overwhelmed. Like, I don't know what's going on. And I would call him crying. I can't do this. I can't do this. I would like go on walks and listen to James's podcast. And then I'd be like, I can do this. Like truly, I would listen to it almost every day. And I would like reinforce, I can do this. And then my father would get the crying phone calls. And then he was just like, one day you're going to hit momentum and then it's going to be up from there. And it'll feel a lot easier. Yes.
Yeah. And do you feel like that's kind of trickled into every arena of the business? Or is it like now that you've hit momentum with like getting in front of your audience and people knowing your expertise and feeling confident with what you offer, now you have a different journey around hitting momentum in a different area?
Yeah, I think that I feel like the momentum will continue, but there's different kind of like versions of it, right? And different kind of like expressions of it. And I will say, like, 'cause sometimes it gets a little like, oh, I don't want to lose momentum, right? So there's always a different challenge. Like the journey doesn't stop, but it feels like getting that initial momentum helped tremendously. And now it's like, where can we hit momentum in other, kind of like ways?
Yeah. What's next for you in your business?
Oh my gosh. That's a great question. What is next for me? Keeping what we have, trying to help more people. I feel really like confident in my team. I've got incredible practitioners on my team. I feel really proud of the work that we do. We're helping so many people, and that's really the point of all of this. Like I got into this work because I had my own chronic digestive issues that no one could solve and no one knew anything about. And I like lived on elimination diets and I took all the supplements and I purchased everything, and like I was still really struggling, and I was young and I was quote unquote healthy, but I was like 6 months pregnant with bloating. So I know the client so well because that was me, and I dealt with that, and I had so many like crying moments and like, there's something terribly wrong with me. I don't know what's going on, So I really feel into that experience, and when I do, that makes me want to just get out there more and help more people, because it's so prominent. I mean, I can't go anywhere without someone being like, oh, can I ask you this question? Because like I actually have a lot of digestive issues.
I started the episode that way. I'm like, now when we finish, Hannah, I have some questions.
and it needs to be out there.
Yeah.
I think I try to add a different take on it, because there are like functional medicine doctors, and yes, I'm not a doctor and all of that, but we try to add our own like spin on it, and I want people to feel very like held in the space and
I love that you did that, because like there's people get in their heads about like, who am I to offer whatever and how many credentials, and I love that you started with like, you scratched your own itch. You had an issue that you had to solve for yourself. You made yourself an expert in your own experience, and then you started approaching people and saying, I can teach you what I know. And that's like, not to distill it down to something really simple, but that's how simple the digital business offer is that it isn't an industry where you have to be entering in with your PhD, medical license, whatever. It's like you can help people where you're at from where you are at.
Yeah, and I've learned so much. I mean, thinking about when I first like launched my program versus now, I know like 3,000 times more about business, but about my like field, about gut health. Like I've learned so much. So it was very much like, this is what I can help with now. And now it's like we as a team know so much more. Like my team is so well trained. So I mean, it's just kind of grown and built from there.
Yes, and you've grown it as your knowledge has grown, just as the business has grown. But you didn't allow that like, well, I don't know everything there is to know about gut health, so who am I to teach it hold you back. You just
Yeah.
started teaching from what you knew, where you were at, and there were people who came to you that needed that. And I would imagine now that you have a more robust expertise, you probably are attracting different students that
Yes.
probably like at the very beginning, you would have been like, I don't know if I'm the person for you, you know, but
absolutely.
now you have a different skill set and your business is offering a different thing. So it's evolved. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I did us a disservice because we help really like complex
Yeah.
cases now, as we've grown and as the expertise has grown and all of that. But yeah, I think at the beginning, I mean, I definitely felt that. I definitely felt like, who am I? I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
this health coach. Like,
Yeah.
you know, say whatever you want with that. I felt that all the time. And
Yeah.
then what I kept going back to is, I'm going to do everything that is necessary to get these people feeling better. Like if I can change it, I'm going to do that. And I'm committed to researching more when I don't have the answer, doing everything, you know, all of that kind of stuff. Like, so I would always just fall back on that. And now, yeah, I mean, now my team is like, we're just more skilled overall. But at the beginning I was like, if I need to, I'm going to try to figure this out. Like, I'm not going to stop there,
Right.
you know? So that's what I could feel like safety in.
I love that though, because some people will say, well, I'm scared that if I put myself out there on the internet as I'm an expert in gut health, there might be a client that approaches me that wants me to help them and I don't know what to do. And instead of going, okay, well then I'm not going to have a course. You just went, okay, well my commitment is I'll research more, I'll learn more, I'll grow my skill set. And if I don't know how to help them, then, you know, I'll either learn or I'll tell them I can't help. But that's when you phrase it like that, it takes it from this like big, bad, scary dragon in the room of like, well, I guess I can't have a course, to just like, no, well, if that happens, I have a plan. And then you expanded your expertise and you're a different teacher now than you were years ago.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's okay. Like, and to this day, I mean, even though our skill set has grown so much, I mean, I don't know everything. Like we see people with all sorts of stuff going on, you know? So, and sometimes like we don't have the answer. And I say that, you know, and when I'm coaching in my group, I'm like, listen, obviously like we know what we're doing. We've been doing this for a while, but everything that I say, like, take it or leave it, you know, like I'm not God. Like if I say something that doesn't land very well with you, just ditch it. You don't have to take that on. And if I don't have the answer to your question, then I'll try to find it. I'll ask my team if they have the answer. And if we don't, then I'll let you know too. You know, I'm not trying to like, I don't know the answer to everything, you know, like of course not. So I think it really helps to take some of the pressure off. Like definitely be good in your field, know what you're doing, but you can't know
put in the
everything.
work, you know, but also don't allow yourself to be the little bunny that freezes because you're going through all the possible scenarios of how you couldn't help. Just focus on who you can help right now from where you are.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to check the battery real quick. Hold on. Hope we're still, low battery. Okay, we're still going. Good. Okay, just checking. Like if that dies, that was so good. Okay, so what do you want to leave entrepreneurs with? Like what do you want people to know who are like, if you could say something to someone who's where you're at when you came into Business by Design, what would you want them to know?
I feel like I've like already said it. I mean, focus on, my biggest 2 cents is focus on one thing, niche down, like, which I know sounds like so elementary, but I think, you know, getting very clear on who you can help and and really, like, I think my biggest strength in this has been messaging the whole time, because I know the client so well because I was the client.
Is that how you chose how to niche down? Was like, what have I specifically dealt with?
Yes, and I
haven't thought about it like that, but I wonder if that's a helpful way for a lot of people to decide, because like you said, you start learning about something. Like I'm relating to this as like when I learned about meditation. It's like, oh my gosh, meditation can solve the world. It will solve the world's problems. I will help solve the world's problems, everyone. Versus going like, I'm gonna teach nervous system regulation because that's what I used it for, you know? And that helps you if you go like, well, it probably won't apply to every niche, but for people who are like, what are you talking about niche down? I have this thing that I know that solves everything for everyone, everywhere. Just go, well, what did it solve for me? And then that can help you have like a really authentic container. I would imagine that also helped you in being a newer coach if you're grounding in your own story, it can dissipate some of that imposter syndrome, because you are not an imposter to your own knowledge of what you've done for yourself. So you can't, it's like an oxymoron, you can't like be an expert in it for what you did for you and not say that you can help someone else with that. That's so authentic.
Yeah, yes, and I am like big on authenticity. Like I don't think I couldn't work this hard and run this business if it wasn't very authentic to me. Like I had a friend who like helped this company scale to like 15 million and was selling like, something that to me was so silly. And I was just like, I could never do that. Like it has to feel, because it is a lot of hard work, and it is like you're putting yourself out there and you're showing up. So to me, if it didn't feel very authentic to me, I couldn't do it. And the other thing was when I was first getting started, I didn't have testimonials, that was just me.
Yes.
I was my only testimonial. And then they slowly started coming in, and now we have tons of them. But, at the beginning, I didn't have.
You were your own testimonial.
Right. So that was very helpful for me, during all of that too. So it's like I needed something to kind of like lean on there a little bit as well.
Yes. Cool. I love that. So, take action from where you're at.
Right.
Stay in action. Reach momentum. Is that how your dad said it?
Yeah. He's like, you're just trying to catch momentum.
Just trying
honey.
to catch momentum, and niche down. And the tool for niching down is like reflect on your personal journey, your personal story, and then that can become the people who are like you can become your little niche audience, is who else is dealing with what I dealt with.
Yeah, and because the interesting thing is I actually had another coach say to me when I was first starting, she was like, help people with skin issues. And I was like, but I've never had skin issues. Like, I haven't had like major, I'm like, that doesn't really resonate with me, you know? But yeah, to each their own. I mean, if you feel really comfortable and you love helping people with that, then do it. But to me, I didn't. Like it didn't, because she was like, because she had acne. So she was like, well, you could help people with skin. She was like, women will pay money to have their skin clear, you know? And now we have a skin program, but I really built on like, this is what we help, this is what we help. And then as they say, James has probably said it, like once you have a bigger audience and you're more well known, then you can sell whatever you want.
That's so good, because I think a lot of entrepreneurs start from what will people pay the most money for based on what I have to offer. And you easily could have been like, yeah, I'll just do it. But at some part in the messaging, people would have been like, so Hannah, have you healed? Is that why you have such good skin? Because you have gorgeous skin. And then you would have been like, well, I actually just have good skin, but it probably is my gut.
But actually.
Yeah, and it probably feels, I wonder, does it feel better when you're in we talk a lot about newer coaches struggling with you have to sell at the end of a webinar, and a lot of coaches, it's like they really just want to help, and the sales part of it, the having to ask for like, will you pay me to help, can feel really like awkward or inauthentic. And so many coaches are like, I do not want to come across like a salesman. I want to come across as a helper. So did that help in selling when you were going like, I was my own first client, and I just want you to have the transformation that I have so I can.
Totally. Yeah. And I would literally re-listen to James saying like, selling is serving, selling is serving, selling is serving. Because I had to really like acclimate my nervous system to that, because totally, I mean, it feels super weird. At this point, it doesn't feel weird, you know?
You just have to keep doing it. And then eventually it doesn't feel weird anymore. You're just like, oh yes, of course.
And I also think at this point too, like, I mean, I just really had to integrate, like, I pay for services that help me.
Yes.
Money is flowing everywhere all the time. We're using money we exchange money for value, whether it's to order our dinner or it's to pay our rent or whatever. So it's like when you're getting, as long as I deliver heavy on value, then like this is a no-brainer, you know, that I'm really helping this person. And I deeply know if you don't put your card down for something, you don't take it as seriously. That is me. I mean, I know that, you know, at this point in my career, if I don't pay, I have to pay a certain amount for me to like show up. If I buy something that's $99, like I won't even open it, you know, like, which I hate to say, but I just like won't use it. Or it's like you get even skincare, right? If you buy, if you're spending like $120 on your bottle, you're like, I'm gonna use this and I'm gonna use my one drop every night.
You're so
like,
right.
And then
you are so right. Now I'm thinking about what my price point is, where I'm like, I just ignored that because I didn't pay enough for it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've done that, you know, so I think that but I had to really woo, put that into my body and understand that, because at first it felt totally weird.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, who the heck am I? What am I doing?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I think at the end of the day, like my biggest things are, yes, just take the messy action. Like it does not have to be perfect.
Right.
And honestly, like it will never be perfect. I don't think it'll ever be perfect.
Right.
Keep going, do a lot of mindset work, and you're waiting to really catch momentum and like know who you're talking to. Like,
yes.
That is, I think, my biggest strength is I know who I'm talking to very well, and I know the experience deeply, so I can speak to their pain points, and it's not even like a sales tactic. I'm like, I've been there. I mean, I've had all of that. I know all the thoughts that go through your mind. The like, I'll never get better. I'm broken. You're canceling dinner plans because your stomach hurts so bad. You're skipping meals because you're bloated after everything you eat. That was me. Like I know that experience so well. So none of it's fake. You know, like I've lived that. So, and then, you know, when people hear that, they're like, oh my gosh, like she really gets me.
Yes.
You know, and that people trust me, I think. And, you know, I take that with heavy responsibility. But I think that really, it really helps. So like know your client in and out.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Where can people find you if they want to work with you?
Yes. We just launched a podcast, which I'm
awesome.
so excited about. It's been well received. I was sat on that for about 2 years.
Okay.
So you see,
Love
there's
it.
always fear.
The podcast has hatched.
Yes, the podcast is finally here. It's called the Nutrient Dense Podcast.
Nutrient Dense Podcast.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I'm on Instagram at Hannah Aylward HHC.
Okay, we'll link that up in the show notes.
Yeah, my website's just hannahaylward.com. So
cool.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much, Hannah.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. And these are my like favorite interviews to do. I just get so much information just from listening to you guys and how you build things. Is fascinating. So if you too enjoy listening to deconstructing how successful digital CEOs have built their businesses in every single niche, we have different niches every week on the podcast. Come join us again for the Wednesday Weekly Win. And you can find Hannah at her links that we'll link up in the show notes. And we'll see you next time on the Mind Your Business podcast.